What's going on, everybody? We got another commentary here, and you guys voted, and the story is how I ended up crapping my pants in a public place. A very public place, to be precise, actually. Now, today, you guys voted on this last week, or beginning of this week, and I actually just realized that Joe Games just posted a video on how the same thing happened to him, but his was not really public. He just crapped his pants at his house. So, here we go. This, if you're coming from that video, this is, I had this waiting to get done since last week. We got, all my subscribers, all you guys voted, and this is what you picked. So, let's get started here. This is a Nuketown. I literally just prestiged here. I was level 5 or level 6, and, so I was using the stock class. I couldn't even create a class yet, I don't think. So, you'll see I'm chilling around here a little bit, and I just have all the stock kill streaks and everything, and it proves that, you don't have to have good weapons and stuff to pretty much just rape in a game, because, well, I did right here. I think it was 43 and 9 or something like that, I believe. I don't know, you count the kills. I know I had 9 deaths, I think, but I don't know, I was 40-something or 38 or something like that. Anyways, here we go. Let's get going. Here we go, here's the commentary. Obviously, it was Domination. I just had the stock class with the MP5. I didn't change anything, so that's easy. You know what that is. So here we go. The story begins. Now, first of all, where was I? It's in Albany, New York. I live in New York, and this was in Albany. So we drove all the way to Albany, and this is my probably second year or something. I think it was. I don't know. I was only 12 or 13 years old. I wasn't very old, but it's pretty old to crap your pants still. That makes this story very embarrassing. So this is what happened. Basically, there's this thing called the Super Bowl. It's where you go to a basketball/football/hockey game. This happened to be a hockey game this year. Yeah, it was a hockey game this year. Or that year, when it's with a bunch of churches get together and you go and like watch a hockey game, and then you have like a message thing, and then you just stay up all night. It's like a lock-in all-nighter thing, kind of. And you go to a bunch of different places. So it's not really locking, I guess. You can go bowling or in the big inflatable things, and there's something else too. I think, what was it? Roller skating. No one ever picked that. So here we go. This is what happened. So we're there, right? We're at a hockey game. And actually, before we started, we got there, and it was like nighttime. They started at like 6 o'clock or something. So it was about dinner time, and we all got there, and we always get food beforehand. You know, we got a big group of people, like 3 or 4 carloads went up with us. So everyone's hungry. So we go to stop, and we know not to get the Chinese food, because Chinese food always makes somebody sick. No matter whatever it was, that Chinese food always made somebody sick. And you're there all night, all the way in Albany, and that's a couple hours from where I live. And it's just like, you know, there's nowhere to go. It's just not fun being sick, especially if you got to stay up all night. So we know not to get Chinese food. What do we end up getting? Instead of the pizza place right, literally one door down, on the same side of the road, we still ended up getting Chinese food. Okay. So I'm like, I don't get sick that often. I'm really hungry. I don't care. I'm going to eat the Chinese food. I'm not going to be the loner that goes to get the pizza. Well, bad choice right there. So we had Chinese food, and everybody's, you know, eating and hanging out and all that. So then we go to the hockey game. It's inside a big ice rink arena thing there, and it's a college hockey game, so it's not like, you know, whatever, professional NHL or whatever. And I'm not a big hockey guy to begin with, but hey, whatever. Hockey games are cool, you know, fighting and all that good stuff. So we're there, and I remember I was sitting in the bleachers. I was pretty far. I was about in the middle, actually, about in the middle, halfway down the stadium there, and I'm sitting there. This is really all I remember. Before that, I don't really remember, but I'm assuming I was kind of feeling a little bit sick. You know, when you just like, oh, when you get sick and you're just like, I just got to drop a deuce. Like, it needs to go right now. Like, I can't handle this. And last thing I remember, I was like, well, I hate using public restrooms. And I was like, well, you know, maybe it's going to go away. I just got here, so maybe I'm just sick from that Chinese food. Maybe I don't have to take a crap. Maybe I'm just not feeling so good. Alright, so I'm still chilling there, and my stomach is rumbling, and everybody went to the bathroom. Like, I was deciding whether to go or not, and I was like, I don't really want to walk like this. It's, you know, all the way up there, and it's just, like, uncomfortable, and I don't want to use a public bathroom, because I don't use public bathrooms. I do not do that. I don't know about you, but that was also bad choice number 2. So no pun intended on that one. So everybody went to go to the bathroom, except, or not everybody, but a bunch of people, except for me. So I'm still chilling there, and I didn't want to miss the game. The game was almost over. It was tied game, I remember, and it was going well. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not feeling good. And there's this kid next to me that's talking to me, and he's talking about his DS, I believe, something like that. It's the Samus game or something like that. And he's playing that, and he's showing me. I'm like, dude, I want to watch a game, and I'm like, you know, wiggling in my seat, like it's getting bad. And I'm like, alright, the game's almost over. At the end of the game, I'm going to go. Because everyone just went to the bathroom. I'm not going to be like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Like, I'll be back in a little bit. You know, it's kind of awkward anyways. And whatever. I didn't want to miss the game. I really didn't want to miss it. I was getting into it. So I was just, you know, chilling there and not feeling too hot, and all of a sudden I'm like, all right, dude, this is not good. This is the last thing I remember. He was talking to me, and I was like, oh man, this is not good. And I'm kind of wiggling in my seat. I'm like, I can't even get up and walk at this point. Like, I need to wait for it to, like, just, oh man, it was bad. And so I'm like, oh boy. And all of a sudden, like, I just don't ever fart when you got that. When you're feeling like that, don't fart. That's what I did, and there it all went. Oh my, holy. And at that point, I had already started walking. I was like, oh, dude, like, I just need to go. I didn't even tell anybody. I just got up and started walking. And as I'm walking, I'm just like, bad choice to start walking. It was just like, just explode. Like, oh, man, it was terrible. It was so bad. I had no clothes. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm halfway up bleachers. I'm, like, in the middle of a stadium with, like, just crap everywhere, all over my, like, everywhere. It was wet, like, oh, it was bad. I still remember it was a horrifying experience, and you guys are probably, if you're eating now, I'm sorry, you probably just puked it up, but man, it was terrible. So I'm walking up there, I'm like, oh, and I started walking a little bit faster, because I'm like, oh man. So I walked up there, and I went to one of the handicap bathrooms. I'm like, how am I supposed to clean this up? Like, it is bad. And so I walked in there. It was a woman's handicap, actually, by the way. I was like, forget that, I'm not waiting there. I just barged right in there. I was like, if there was someone in there, I was about to be like, get out, get out. But there wasn't, thankfully. So I got in there, locked the door. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So at that point, I don't know if I had a cell phone or not. I can't really remember. I don't think I had a phone. Maybe I wasn't 13 then, because I think I got a phone when I was 13. So I must have been younger than that. But I didn't have a phone. And somehow I think my mom maybe came up or followed me or something, because she was there. She was a chaperone, and she was about leaving, but she stayed for the hockey game, and then she went home that night, I think. And basically, so I was like, look, Mom, I need pants. And she's like, what happened? I was like, well, I just need pants. And she's like, okay, I need clothes. So she goes and she goes to the merchant store, you know, counter thing there at the hockey rink, stadium, whatever, and everything was closing down. I missed the whole end of the game after this, by the way. So, you know, I only should have missed like 10 minutes, as long as it took to, you know, just go walk up there and then let it drop. But I didn't. So that was just a dumb choice there. But my fear of public restrooms, yeah, oh, that paid off all right. No, but anyway, so she ended up getting me clothes. They didn't have any boxers, obviously. It's a hockey rink, so she ended up getting me just a pair of like gym shorts. I had to dig it out. It was middle of winter, by the way. It was like January, I think. So it was cold, and they had to go dig out shorts like in the storage area, I guess. This is what she told me, and I'm just standing there the whole time. I'm like, what am I doing here? What do I got to do? And she got shorts and a pair of those wind pants that no one ever wears. Those freaking like cheap plastic pant things. Oh man, it was bad. And I had to wear those the whole rest of the night. But anyways, that was terrible. It was so bad. I changed into that, had the rest of the night, and everybody kept asking me what happened. Why did I, you know, why did I change? What happened? And I was like, I got sick and I puked all over myself. I didn't feel good. Because at that time, you know, I'm not going to tell somebody I just crapped all over myself. That's terrible. But now I'm putting it on the internet. Later on, years later, here it is for everyone in the world to know. So that's what happened. If anybody's listening to this that was there, that's the true story. Sorry to lying for you about that, or for lying to you about that. But anyways, that's pretty much what happened. And the worst part about this, I had my favorite pair of pants on and my favorite shirt, and I had to throw both of them out. I had to throw out my favorite pair of pants and my favorite shirt. Oh, it was not good. But anyways, moral of the story, do not be afraid of public restrooms, and when you have to go, you gotta go. If you haven't learned this lesson yet, you better learn it from me now. Just get over your fear of public restrooms and let her rip, because you do not want to have to deal with that. Especially, I wouldn't even know what to do if my mom wasn't there. I used to hate when my mom came on Things and Chaperone. Well, I was so thankful that day. But there's the moral, too. Another moral of the story. Be happy when your parents come sometimes, because they are lifesavers. Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate that. I seriously... Woo! Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next week. And I can't wait for Modern Warfare 3 to come out. Tell me if you're liking these commentaries. Also, vote on what story to go next. How I Met Michael Jackson / my friend broke his nose. My road trip to Maine last summer. My Boy Scout field trip to Fire Island. And how I started my YouTube career. Leave it in the comments below which one you want to hear next. And I will see you soon.